Hey everybody, this is Georgiana. Welcome back. And today I'm making Easter cards. I only plan on sending a couple, but I still like designing them, so I'm probably end up giving some of them away. But this one, well, it may be the next one that goes to someone special, but this is just one that I did. Now I went into let's flip over here. All right, so here we go. This is the images that I'm working with, and these are again Creative Fabrica images. I will link them below. Now the grass actually came in Design Space. I don't think I imported it. I think it's a standard offering for them, but I decided I wanted to use grass for the card, and now I'm kind of wishing I just cut out green paper, but it's okay. It is what it is. It's not my favorite, but it'll work. So what I did was I brought everything in. This is a rough size that I use for the background, just so that I can attach everything, and that way I can reposition stuff, whereas when I let the Cricut do it, it doesn't necessarily make the most of my paper. Now this blank spot here, this is just another shadow cut so that I can layer behind this one. But yeah, so this is what it looks like if I attach everything to the mat. And that was an 11 by 17 mat. I actually would use 8.5 by 11. Somehow I managed to accidentally change my default, so I'll have to go in and correct that later. I'm just showing you that it does look a lot different when you get it on the correct paper size. There we go. So we'll cancel back out of that, and we'll just hide that. And then I'm going to unattach all of this, or detach. And then if we go back into make, you can kind of see that at least it was putting it on two sheets. Again, we got the wrong default here. Yeah, so what it's not including is the shadow layer for this. And I printed an extra shadow layer just to make it a little thicker. I used a pretty thin, like index weight cardstock to avoid a lot of extra bulk. But the shadow layer is actually here. You can't see it because it's white on white, but it didn't get it all on one page. So, that's just something to take in consideration. If you've got the time to spend and you don't like wasting paper, if you position the stuff on your own in the right, inside the brackets, then you'll get more bang for your buck, if you want to say it that way. Let's see, let's go ahead and undo that. And we'll undo my hide, yeah. So my background that I use, this is 6.62, this gray piece. And it's 6.62 by 9.28, and it just gives me an idea of where all my stuff will fit. And I like to do it in a opposing color so I can kind of see with these white outlines stand out. Now, if I had been, picky, I probably could have squeezed a few more things in there, but I got what I needed out of it, so I'm happy with that. So that's just something for you to be aware of, is that, you can reposition stuff yourself, and then you can just get more stuff on a sheet if you do it yourself, usually. So anyway, I printed this out, and I went ahead and cut it out. And let's go back to the work surface. So I went ahead and put this one together, but like I said, I had cut everything out. Here's our other pieces. And I'm going to make this one green. And one of the things that's important to note is if you're doing something like this and I've done this before, so I should know better, where you're going to be attaching grass or something to the bottom of your matting layer, or whatever it is, just maybe even a border piece. unless you want it to come all the way to the edge, and I've done that and it looked okay. But if you don't want it, if you want to keep that white border around there, make sure you attach this before you glue it down on to your card base. I forgot to do that with the blue one, and I ended up with having to pull that off. And fortunately, I was able to do it and reuse it, but I just got lucky. So we'll go ahead and start by gluing down. We'll start by gluing the shadow layer to the back of the printed rabbit. So my glue was acting up, just kept wanting to erupt from the top. I had it laying down, and there's not that much in it, which is why I had it laying down, so it would be easier to get the glue out, but then it started making a mess. So anyway, you just want to kind of get these situated. And it's got that one a little bit off, but I think it'll be okay. So we'll just let that dry. So now what I want to do is, because I'm going to layer my grass. Now I think I started to say, and I don't know if I finished, these images are all from Creative Fabrica, and I will link them in the comments if you're interested. I'm also going to do a different card. I'm going to do mostly it's just going to be a printed matting layer that goes on there, but it's going to be the stained glass look, which is also from Creative Fabrica. So I might put that in a separate video though, just to keep them shorter. So let's see here, just kind of position that wherever you want. I just line it up with the bottom of the matting layer. Let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to slip this. The reason I didn't glue the tips of the grass down is because I'm going to slip this behind there a little bit, and that'll help hide where I didn't quite get it lined up, which you may not be able to see. It's pretty close, but so kind of get this where I want it. That'll work. Yeah. So put some more glue on there. Just a small eruption on that one. All right, so I'm just going to kind of lift that grass up a little bit. Make sure I get that under there where I want it. Okay, it's not very centered. That's better. Could probably even come up a bit more. Okay. So I have a bunch of different Easter eggs. Most of these are watercolor, but there's a couple that are painted, kind of folksy, and I thought those were cute. I made them a little bit bigger. And now I want to start layering. I'm going to save the two bigger ones for later. So I'm going to put one down, one up, one down, and then, okay, so I may not need to use all of these, but I'm going to kind of start filling in around the base of my main image. And I should zoom back out here in a second so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Alright, so there's one. And that was actually supposed to go down. But that's okay. So let's just go ahead and use one of these. I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Just kind of start filling that in so it looks kind of like an Easter basket's how I'm imagining it. And I know I want these to go out here. So let's do I'm going to put this one here and this one there. I tuck this one in behind again. So I'm going to pull these off for now, and I'm going to put my layer of brass on the bottom. So starts right about there. And again, I'm just going to line it up as best I can right there at the bottom. From the back, yep, that looks pretty good. So let's weight that down for a minute. And then we will figure out how we're going to do these last two. So I know I want the, oh, I don't know where it went. All right. That shot clear across the room. Now, granted, it's not a big room, but still. All right, so I think we'll go ahead and attach. You know what? First, I'm going to cut my grass off so I know what where my edges are. There we go. So I kind of like to make this look like it's leaning a little bit on the edge of the matting layer. Just a little. Okay. And we'll do the same thing with this one over here. Maybe not lean it quite as much. Let that glue dry a little bit. And then these I'm going to slip in between the front and the back layers of the grass, so they'll kind of be just peeking out a little bit. So that's why I did not glue the tips of the grass down. I just want them to be able to slide those under there ever so slightly. And we'll do the same with this one. That one got a little taller on me, so maybe I'll just kind of lay it down over here. The grass is, because it's not straight across it, it's like hilly. So I wasn't taking that into account, but there you go. So it's ready for sentiment, and it's ready to be glued on the back of the card. Now I am using a nice pearlescent cardstock because I just thought it was the sheen and everything. It feels soft and glowy like Easter should, to me anyway. And we're going to glue that down. I just want to get a rough idea. That's the side I want for the front. We'll use this side. So we need more glue. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it, but I did get my ergonomic bone folder from Dress My Craft, And I will say, I like the way it feels in my hands. Take me a little getting used to it because I've been using the others for a while. The only complaint I might make is, and it's minor, is that I think it was used because it came in with the sticker falling off and scratches all up in the surface of it, which you won't be able to see on camera, but I could certainly see them. So I think it had probably been returned by somebody. The sticker was all curled up and bent. I took it off the front and put it on the back where it would lay flatter. But it does feel nicer in my hand than the longer ones that tend to, because of the way I hold them, they tend to poke me right there. So so far I'm liking it. Like I said, I feel like it was probably a used one, but other than the surface scratches, which are really kind of insignificant, yeah, I like it. So highly recommend. I got it off of Amazon. Just search for Dress My Craft ergonomic bone folder. That's what I did. All right, so there we have it. 2 Easter cards waiting for sentiments and ready to go. And you know what they might need? They might need a little butterfly. What did I do with those? I just cut out a bunch of butterflies. But I don't know where I put them. So I guess we will not worry about those right now. But anyway, you see how easy that was. Again, I will put the links for the images. I think there's 3 image sets between the rabbit with inside the wreath, the different Easter eggs. I think there's 2 sets for the Easter eggs. There might even be 3. The grass was an image I got out of Design Space. And then I used an embossing folder. It's just kind of a swirly design. I had a lot to choose from, and I just picked one that I thought would look good in the background. So there you go. Couple of Easter cards, and that was nice and quick. So if you have any questions, just give me a shout. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I will do a couple more Easter cards, but I will put those in a separate video. Thanks again.